Okay guys, for this week, the almost the first week back to school, we're going to be making Colcannon. Now Colcannon is an Irish potato dish made with cabbage. Traditionally, the way I've always done it is just cabbage and basically mashed potatoes. This one calls for bacon, which I'm not going to complain about. So get ready to cook along with Mr. Tolley. So as always with any dish, we have to begin with our ingredients. Colcannon is primarily a potato dish, so of course you need 2.5 pounds of potatoes. Now, this is not the right way to have your potatoes. You're going to want to have your potatoes cut. Ireland is famous for its cabbage. Cabbage is one of the main crops of Ireland, along with potatoes. I don't want a whole cabbage. That seems like a little bit too much. I think I'm only going to want half. And then, of course, there's always bacon. Now, Miss Fincher's recipe calls for something called pork side or side pork. It's not something I was able to get this time. Bacon was an option. I'm sure we could ask her and figure out where to get it. But basically, side pork is a leaner version of bacon. It's just not cured. So along with the potatoes and the cabbage and the bacon, you're going to need 1 yellow onion chopped, a 1/4 cup of butter. Now, this is a 1/2 cup of butter, so what we really want is just a 1/4 cup. So we just got to make sure we cut it in half. Last but not least, you're going to need a 1/2 cup of milk. Now you're going to melt your butter and you're going to have the milk in as a part of that. So you're going to put your milk in to mash, and then you're going to add the butter afterwards. So Colcannon is one of those dishes that just really generally takes a little bit of cooking time. So I'm going to start by cooking off my bacon. I got my pan on not the hottest, but I got it hot before I added the bacon because I wanted to get that sizzle right away. I'm just going to cook off my 4 strips of bacon to render out the fat. So all that white in there is the fat part. I want to keep that fat because I'm going to use it later. Alright, and there we go. Bacon's all cooked, and you can hopefully see some of that bacon fat in there. You can see my pan smoking, that's for sure. Turn up my air a little bit. I'm going to add my onions. So, I'm going to get my onions going first. Going to cook these down in that bacon fat. This will keep a flavor profile going that I like. Very specifically the flavor profile of bacon. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Bacon has salt in it, but it's always good to season at all levels. You just add in a little bit of pepper for the same reason. You can see, hopefully, that my potatoes are already boiling over there, getting ready to turn into mashed potatoes. So yeah, Colcannon is basically, it's a form of mashed potato. You have your potato mashed up, and then you add in the onions and the cabbage, and in this case the bacon bits afterwards. And always serve it with a dollop of butter. Dollop of butter is a big part of almost every good Irish meal. So I'm going to go ahead now and add in my cabbage, which I have chopped up into a shape similar to my onions. That way I keep kind of similar bites throughout. They're not exactly the same, but it'll work. I'm just going to kind of let these cook down and get a little bit less raw. I want to have them tasting nice when I add them in. While I do this, I'm going to go ahead and melt up my butter and get my rig ready for mashing. So I realized just recently that the recipe actually calls for peeled potatoes. I happen to like my Colcannon with the peels on. So if you want them with peels, leave them with the peels. If not, it's fine. So I'm going to add my 1/2 cup of milk, and I'm going to mash my potatoes. There are lots of ways to mash potatoes. This one's my favorite. Stand mixer, paddle attachment, and go. Hang on, I gotta get approval from the official mashed potato inspector in my house. Okay. That's a good point. Potatoes don't take salt when you're boiling them very well, so add salt afterwards. What we're looking for is fluffy, creamy mashed potatoes.
Are you putting the bacon?
Later. Are they deep enough?
Oh, they're big enough. And if you're adding bacon later, they're salty.
All right. So now we just got to put it all together. We're going to put it together in a serving dish, which is is actually not usual for my family. We tend to eat our meals plated, but this one, it's got to do it in a serving dish, so I'll go ahead and do that. So now you just take all your ingredients and mix them together. And now for the real reason why this is not a plated dish. I'm going to take my ladle I'm going to serve with. I'm going to make a little well in the potatoes, just a little hole. And then, I think we'll do this one instead of in fast motion, in slow motion. There we go. Traditional Colcannon with a well of butter in the middle of it. This gets served at the table, but I think I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pull out a little sampler and we're going to try this. Just me and the official potato taster, nobody else. So I'm gonna take a bite first. Pass one across to the official potato taster.
Ooh, that has a lot of flavor.
The nice thing about this dish is it's got lots of texture in it as well. So it's got creamy potatoes, and it's got crispy bacon, and it's got kind of crunchy vegetables. This is one of my all-time favorite side dishes.
Awesome.
We are going to have this tonight with some herring and some apples because we're rolling Irish tonight. Make it, send videos, have fun.
We eat now?